Hey guys, what's up? It's Combat Saturday. Today's topic, what we're looking at is kicking. Okay, how to improve those kicks. I was talking with my friend earlier this week and he was saying that he's having trouble with his kicks. And a lot of people do because I see a lot of videos about kicking technique, but I don't see a lot of videos about how to build up the attributes to develop that technique, okay, to do it properly. All right. So a lot of these exercises that I do on a regular basis and teach people, these will really help increase your kicks, your kicking power, and your kicking skills. Okay. Now, high kicking isn't necessarily the goal here. Okay. Now we tend to kick a little higher in practice than we would in a real situation, but still, high kicks are not the goal so much as kicking with balance and control, okay, and developing those muscles you need for it. Okay, you can always work on flexibility later on, but until you learn how to pivot correctly and how to turn the hips over and how to use hip strength and things like that, and how to direct the force through the heel and things like that, until you learn these things, the high kicks aren't that important. Get those things first, and then you can work on height if you want to. Okay. It's not essential in actual street combat, but for training, it's always good to go a little higher because we like to use a larger range of motion than we would in a real situation. Okay, so do these consistently, exercises, and you'll see improvement. Simple as that. All right. So a couple of things is that you very important is that you need to have a hip strength and you need to have a good pivot. These are key to developing good kicks. All right, and of course balance is a given as well. Okay, so what we're going to do here, first we're going to start with the front stretch kicks. Okay, so you can see my feet here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to turn the foot out on each rep and swing the leg out. Two. Okay. Now I might not show you both legs today just because for time, because we're not going to do a full workout here, right? But I do want to show you each technique thoroughly. Okay. Okay, well, but then, there we go. Remember to turn the foot out, because remember, if your foot is completely parallel, you're kind of on a tightrope. When you turn it out, then you have some stability there, okay? So you turn out a little bit, here we go. Get the hips going, okay? Hip flexors, okay? Okay. Then we're gonna do outside opening. This will open up the hips, okay? Okay, you can also go inside too. Okay. All right. Next up, the pivoting drill. Okay. Now, when you pivot, it's very important to pivot on the ball of your foot. Okay, right there. Okay, very important. Pivot on the ball of your foot. Okay, hold on. Just angle it down a little bit. All right. Okay, yeah. So one thing you can do which can help is to just do a bunch of like 180 pivots or quarter or whatever. So just here, so just push. So I'm pushing off with this rear leg as I swing it around ahead of me, 180. Okay, boom, boom, and each time, now I go backwards too. Each time I'm driving the ball of the foot into the ground. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now very important here, and this is what screws up a lot of people. Okay, don't focus on your feet too much. Focus on your hip. Okay, we'll get to the pivoting stuff in a second. Okay, but the goal isn't to pivot your foot. Okay, that hasn't happened if you want to turn your hip over, but you need to turn the hip over. Okay, when I'm doing this, I'm not thinking about pivoting on my foot so much as I'm thinking about bringing my hip forward. Bring the hip forward. Boom, boom. So, it's just like in when we do the shifting in Wing Chun and we use the hips for the foot. It's the same thing. Okay. Okay. Now here's a pivoting drill for your kicks, and it'll go front kick to side kick. Okay, front kick to side kick, or front kick to round kick. Whatever, okay? And it trains you to turn the hip over, okay, and work the pivot. Okay, so here, I'm gonna start here. My foot's out here. Now look at my I hope you can see my foot here. Okay, let me come back here. There we go. Okay, now you want to hang on to something on this drill. Okay, here, and just turn, turn, turn. See, I'm not thinking about my foot. I'm just turning my hip over. This has to happen in order to do that. Okay, so here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Okay, so keep on working on that one. See, and you see how my hip is turned over, so it can be a side kick, can be a round kick, or whatever I want to be. But you have to get those hips engaged. Okay. All right. How's the pivoting drill? Okay. We have a lot to cover here. Okay, so I can't go over everything, as many reps as possible. I just want to show you each thing. Okay, and you can make notes on whatever. Okay, these things are all very important. I don't think any one is more important than the other. Okay. All right. Next up, we have extensions. All right. Now, three major skills to work on, types of kicks to work on. All right, and that is your front kick, your side kick, and your roundhouse kick. Okay. There are others like crescent kicks and things like that as well. Okay. I don't really do those like spinning heel, jumping kicks, that kind of stuff. Okay. For what you need for actual street combat and self-defense, the front kick, the side kick, and a round kick, those are perfect. Okay. We're not talking about the tournaments here. Okay. Now, if you want to branch off into those things and do them, go ahead and do that. Okay. They do it in Taekwondo and things like that, but it's not the goal here. Okay. The goal is to develop that foundation. And once you have the foundation, you can do those things. All right. So now we do the pivoting drill. Now we're going to do extensions, and for each of the three kicks: front, side, roundhouse, like I said before. So for the front kick, what you want to do is you want to chamber your foot, bring it up, and extend. Okay. Now I know that it's possible to get a lot of power with no chambering. You can just come in. But in order to get in order to understand the movement and use the hips correctly, things like that, okay, you need to chamber, get the full motion, and then later on you can cut corners a bit. Okay, you have to know the rules before you can break them. Okay, develop all those muscles through the full range of motion, and then you can cut it down. Okay, so take a chair here or bench or something, and I'm standing right beside it here, like that. So if I don't chamber, I'm just going to kick the chair. Okay, so I need to bring my foot up and over, up, over. Okay, and drive that foot into the ground too. My supporting foot, I want to really focus on driving that into the ground, and I'm using the ground for power to drive that foot forward. Okay. Now I'm using what sometimes is called the oblique kick. We like to kick this way in Wing Chun and Jeet Kune Do. They like that kind of kick a lot, and karate, and other people do it too. But we're kicking with the foot angled out. Okay, you can also kick with the ball of the foot as well, like a teep, like a push it. You can do that too. Okay, but the mechanics are still going to be the same. All right. Next up we have the side kick and a side kick. And incidentally, you notice that I'm hanging on to the punching bag here. In order to develop these things, okay, hang on to something, because you don't want to make it an 80% balance exercise and a 20% kicking exercise. Okay, you want to make sure that you're developing your kicks. Okay, balance will come later. Okay, so here, hang on to this, bring that knee forward, and then out. Okay, again, the full range of motion. I know people are going to say, oh, you don't need to chamber that much. Okay, but remember, we're getting that full motion here. Okay, and sometimes you might have to. All right. Okay, and then of course later on, you don't need to hang on to this, all right? But in the beginning, you definitely want to. Okay. All right, and then we have the round kick extension. Okay. Now the round kick here, you want to have your foot angled outwards, like just kind of pointing in that direction where I'm going here. All right, like I'm going in this angle here, and I'm extending my leg here. Okay, now in Taekwondo, they tend to extend it more at the knee, and in Muay Thai, they tend to kick through. All right, But regardless of which one you're doing, and both have their place, believe me, okay? Not one is better than the other. You need to understand when to use which one and when not to use it, okay? When you're how can I put this? You need to have that extension, even if you don't think you need that knee extension when you're doing a kick through. Okay, you do need it because that will actually help you kick through. All right. The Muay Thai coach who I trained with before, he called it the dragon's tail. Okay, and so he says, no, yeah, if you just swing your leg through like a baseball bat, that's fine. It's still powerful. But if you get that little extra extension there, it's going to be more powerful. Okay, it's called the dragon's tail. Okay, and there's even a drill they do called a half drill where I will just take my foot up here and without being able to take advantage of the step in and pivoting and things. Well, I still pivot a bit, but without a lot of that, I'm using that dragon's tail to really get the. It's not like getting that power. So it's like even right here, here, and you learn to swing the arm back too, right? To get that counterweight, okay? All right. So there they are. You have the front kick, the side kick, and then the round kick. All right. And then two more things we have to cover, okay? The knees, and then the different ways to use the kicks between the two legs, okay? So the knees, you want to use the hip. Use the hip, okay? So not just this, right? Okay, I'm driving with the hip. The hip flexors are pushing forward, okay? So what you can do is just go in a line here. Go like 1, 2. You notice I pivot a little bit on my support foot too. You see, 1, 2, in order to get the hips there. Okay. See again. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. You can also do like a round knee. I'll say, hey, you can like this, kind of coming on an angle, like a roundhouse kick. Okay. You can do that too. Sometimes you need an angle. Okay. All right, and then the very last one is the ways to use the different kinds of kicks, and there are 4 major ways. One is to just lift your lead leg up. That's one way. Another is to step in with the back leg to do a lead leg kick. There's also a rear leg kick and a switch kick. Okay, you can do these with all the kicks. The only exception would be that you would not do a switch kick on a side kick. Okay, you wouldn't switch it because it doesn't make any sense. Okay, because a side kick is a slide-on technique. You wouldn't do that. The switch kick would only work on front kicks, knees, or round kicks, not the side kick. Okay, so if you're doing let's say you're doing a rear leg kick. We'll start with that at first. Okay, the best thing to do is to do it with knees. Okay, practice with knees because then you'll learn to use the hips. Okay, you kind of bring it down small and then build it up again. Okay, so use the knees to understand how to use the hips to do these different variations, and then all you gotta do is extend your legs later on to make them into kicks. Okay, but the foundation is those hips and knees. Okay, so if I'm doing a rear knee, okay, I'm opening up 1. Okay, there's a rear knee. Okay, yes, yeah, opening up, driving it forward. Okay. All right. Now, if I'm doing, I could just pick up the knee as well. I could do that here without a step at all. Just come in here. And one thing too is that we sometimes call this the mohawk. Okay. And what I'm doing is that I'm using this as a counterweight, and I'm also can bring the opponent's head or body into me, or head, or whatever. Okay. And that's the thing, and you will see that. So whether I'm doing like a front kick or whether it's a roundhouse kick, you're always going to get that counterweight comes in here. See, so it's like I take my head and my arm and bring it across my head and take sweat and I flick it at my opponent. See, okay? And so here, okay? So we did the rear knee, okay? We did just the lifting knee, okay? Now if I want to do a step knee with the lead leg, I'm gonna bring this foot up. See how this foot is angled out a bit. I'm gonna keep the angle, bring it up. See? See? So we got rear. We got just bring it up, and we got step, okay? And then one more is the switch, okay? Now the step is good if I'm at a distance here, so some distance, let's say he pulls away, I can use the step. But what if he's really close, right? And I want to use this knee. Let's say this angle for some reason isn't available, okay? Well, I'll do a little switch and bring it back and then go, okay? So that's how you can do it. Now, the way I was showing to do a switch, it's not like doing a big Ali shuffle when you're jumping around. It's a 2 count move, okay? And really break it up. And also, the leg you're kicking with or kneeing with is going to move further than the other foot. Okay, I'll show you what I mean, okay? So what I'm doing, I want to bring this foot back, okay? See, it's very subtle. This foot moves only a little bit, and this foot moves back more. A little faster that way, see? So you see, once again, this foot goes on a little bit, this one goes back a bit further. It looks like it's 1 count, but it's actually 2 counts very close together, okay? You know, hopping around like a monkey isn't really the best thing to do, okay? And you don't want to do anything to give yourself away, and you want to have options to change to something else if you need to. Okay, let's say here, you know, if I'm kind of in mid-air, I don't know. You could say it's unlikely, but it's the chance of getting caught with something is a bit higher when you're hopping both feet at the same time than would be doing a 1-2. Okay, so see, so how this foot moves only a little bit, and that foot will move that further. See, so I'm in close. See, here, 1-2. And you can do this with kicks as well, okay? So you just have to understand which way your body is loaded, okay? If I just threw a rear hand here, all right, I'm set up to do a lead kick. I'm set up to do a switch kick. If I just threw a lead hand, a hook or something like that, an uppercut, and my weight's more on my back leg, I'm set up to do a rear knee, a rear kick, or whatever, okay? All right, and I think that about covers everything. Just a couple things left to work on. We went with a lot of material today. Is just do a few stretches, okay? So just front stretch. Okay. Front stretch here for your hamstrings, okay? That's one. And another one too is, no, I can't do the full splits, okay? But just do what you can here. Come around here and just go down. Okay, there we go. And try and hold each stretch for about, 20 or 30 seconds or so, all right? And then another one too is the round kick stretch. Just bring your leg here and just bring it up and try to open up as much as you can and point that knee right to the wall there, okay? All right? And there you go. All right, a lot of material covered today. I know that. You don't need to try and do all these all at once. Okay, just pick a few each day, work on them, and then after a couple of weeks, hopefully you're doing all of them. And you do these consistently a few times a week, and you're going to see some big changes in your kicks. Okay, so for those of you who are struggling with your kicks, do these, and you will see improvements. Simple as that. All right. All right. So I hope you found this useful. Any questions, let me know, send me a message, and see you guys soon.